Monday nights, y'all. Check us out, 9 p.m. Peace. Hey, I'm Pat B.
I'm the Thriller Priest.
And I'm Johnny.
And this is the Geek Down on WEMF Radio. Bob with me.
Yo.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. Let me slow down. I may be coming down with a little something. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Geek Down here on WEMF. As you heard the man say, I am Pat B. In the house, I look to my far left. The man, he's really Justin Bailey, but he'll never admit it. His name is Just Johnny.
Yo.
And
Justin Bailey, I like that.
You like that?
I like that.
Own that one.
I need a bikini speedo type of getup, and I need an arm cannon. I'll be ready to roll.
Go for it. We'll be thankful it's radio. All right, and of course I looked at my near left, and he hates when you call him the mouth from the south. I'm talking about my main man, JM the Thriller Priest.
Peace, I'm back, baby. It's been gone for a minute, man. Definitely glad to be back.
You've been a recluse, my man.
Man, just been hustling, man. You know, gotta get that money, man. It's hard living in these Boston streets.
I hear you, man. It's all code for you got warrants. It's cool.
Hey, shh.
I want to thank you for joining us, and want to thank you, the audience, for joining us. Welcome to another action-packed, fun-filled show, baby. We have reviews. We have more reviews. We have some hardcore wrestling coverage. And we're throwing the Hitman's Bodyguard at you. Yo, my question is, what happens when Deadpool has to guard Nick Fury?
I don't know. You want to tell us?
Yeah, now it's gonna get real. Actually, I say Nick Fury. This was more like Julius Winfield from Pulp Fiction got old, retired, somehow lived to become a curmudgeon.
I thought you were gonna tell me it was gonna be when he was black dude in Tarzan. My man Tarzan. I thought he was guarding him.
Nah, none of that. My man Green Lantern. Like, no, we can't.
None of that.
Cut it off. Clip.
Hey, did he say MFO though?
Come on, baby. It's not a Sam Jackson movie without multiple, several.
Yes.
In fact, it was even called out in the movie. Like, why you say that so much? It was beautiful.
Yeah,
awesome. It was beautiful. I could ruin one line during the review. I'm not sure if I should or not, because at the moment it was perfect. But I also want to, if I say it, I'm sure to get butts in the seats as well. We'll get to that. Beyond that, though, in my own idiot ramblings, we have that review for apparently what's a pretty low down Steam game, Immortal Planet. All right, so Zero Suit over there is going to give us the inside stuff on that one.
Do you just want to see me naked? Is that it?
No, hey,
I mean, he threw you an alley-oop and you just let it fall down.
I've been following the YouTube comments, man. I'm just pandering to the audience. Of course, I'm going to then turn it over to my man, JM, who's got not one, not two, but three.
Yay.
Low down. I use low down. But the hottest of the hots, the coolest of the cool, the grittiest of the grittiest, the grimiest of the grimiest.
Don't oversell it, homie. Don't oversell it.
Okay, the mediocreest of the mediocre.
I'll take that. Set that bar low. I can jump it high. We good.
All right.
I jump 3 foot bars, man. Let's do it. I can do it.
All right, now you got the wrestling reviews in full force. We're talking SummerSlam, we're talking NXT, and we're talking Ring of Honor. And then I'm gonna bring it back around for I got to check out the latest. Stealth mode DC animated Batman and Harley Quinn.
Man, I'm so bad. I've been sleeping on it. I can't wait to hear your review, homie, because I got to see that.
Oh, yeah, no, I got the stuff. I got news. And it came...
You talking Killing Joke good?
I'll get to it.
Ooh.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll get to it. Because there's some controversy around it, too. Kind of similar controversy to Killing Joke, so it's good to get that good back and forth. I want to hear what y'all think about it. Herb, I want you involved in this one too, man, because as a comic fan yourself, I want to get the full intros and inside stuff. I'm getting some crackle in the headphones, man. If you could check that out.
So, we talking like 15-year-old and 50-year-old? No, was she like 19 and 50-year-old controversy like last go around?
This is a little different. This is slightly different, but I think it more depends on audience perspective.
Gotcha.
So I'll cover that. But first, dude, I got to get into Hitman's Bodyguard. Yeah, jumping right into it. 2 feet. Because, okay, first of all, if anyone doesn't know, this is the new movie starring Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson.
And the crazy part is, the fact that I just started seeing trailers for this. So, you must have been on it for you to see trailers. When I first saw it, I was like, wow, it's Saturday. How am I just now seeing trailers for this? And it looks really good. Did it live up to the hype?
Well, maybe it goes without saying that the fact that you didn't see nary a trailer for it until you said, well, first of all, it's already been released. So until after it's already been released, yet it was #1 at the box office, beating out Hollywood favorite Logan Lucky. And the new Annabelle movie. It beat out the horror movie and it beat out the
Wow.
Daniel Craig, Channing Tatum assassin movie.
Yeah, I've been seeing that stuff too. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Independently produced. So yes, it was good. I enjoyed the heck out of this movie, and I did not expect to. So if anyone doesn't know, it's starring Ryan Reynolds, starring Sam Jackson, Selma Hayek making an appearance. I haven't seen her in a little bit, and she was nice.
I mean, she looks
aging very well.
Cause she's like 50, right? 50 with a couple kids. Still
I
looking gorgeous.
won't say that. Just gotta have my facts straight there. But she's getting there. But spot on. Gary Oldman too came out the cut. I've not seen Gary Oldman. I think since I might be wrong. I think since he was Commissioner Gordon.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot sooner than I seen him. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so the plot breakdown is the world's top bodyguard gets a new client, a hitman who must testify at the International Court of Justice. They must put their differences aside and work together to make it to the trial on time. It's the hitman's bodyguard. The general premise of this is Sam Jackson plays a hitman, and he's assigned a bodyguard. Now, a dude that kills people and, is basically badass for a living doesn't really need someone to watch his behind and his backside. But Ryan Reynolds is also one of the top, CIA agents, hitman, assassins himself, turned bodyguard, turned high-end protection provider. And he ends up through a, kind of like an 80s movie comical, more of a mid-90s movie ridiculous set of circumstances, having to guard Sam Jackson, the dude who not only is like hardcore in his own right, but has also tried to kill Reynolds on several occasions. And dude, I can understand why this one kind of slipped under your radar, because like I said, independently produced, and not a lot of that went to the marketing, where most a movie with Ryan Reynolds and Sam Jackson would be huge. Any major studio would put at least like $40 million.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I remember seeing trailers for it for at least a month back. But you're right, not that many.
Right.
They'd be like one, and then you'd see like 3-4 movies and such, and then oh yeah, I remember that thing. Not a big online campaign, nothing. And what I think really made this one, it was number one, and the movie was good, and I'll explain why in a bit. But I think the main thing that made it successful is that it was up against movies with like possibly more star power. And I mean by sheer numbers. Sam Jackson is huge. Ryan Reynolds is pretty damn big himself.
Selma
Hayek
is still quite relevant.
She's I wouldn't go see a movie just for her, but I would enjoy a movie more, with the prize. Check them out. You know what I'm talking about. But no, it's this movie was just the right fun time at the right time.
Okay.
People just needed something like some dumb fun, and this movie was just plain dumb fun. It's gotten a lot of flack from critics. I can't speak today. What's wrong with me?
I got you, homie. Got you.
Thank you. I've gotten a lot of flack from critics because it the complaints have been it's very formulaic. It follows a lot of tropes. And one thing that I even got from the trailers is that this type of movie can't help but do that. I didn't find it formulaic. It met almost every single trope that exists for this movie genre, but I wouldn't call it formulaic because it didn't really follow the numbers. It just made sure that they introduced the tropes like here and there, but story wise it was its own thing. Like it wasn't I'm sitting there, I predict this is gonna happen, okay, then it happened. I predict this is gonna happen, then it happened. I predict this is gonna happen, and then someone got shot. So bang. Okay, so no there was no gratuitous titty shot, first of all, which I would normally be upset by, but I was having fun elsewhere.
All right.
Plus it's a movie with nuns, man.
Hey,
what's going on? Check yourself. Okay, so starting right off, Ryan Reynolds plays the straight man for once. Yeah, okay. Like it's very rare you see Ryan Reynolds play a he's not Bud Abbott completely, like button down. He's not I guess it would be Scully to Duth Mulder.
Got you.
But he is the more level-headed, the more controlled character in this. And you think Ryan Reynolds, he's Deadpool, he's wacky and such. But
Van Wilder, you know what I mean? So it's been a while since I've actually seen him be straight man.
And he played it well. I've never seen Sam Jackson go to the point where he's the comic foil. Yeah, and I don't mean comic like Jerry Lewis.
Right.
He's more like Do you remember I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker?
Yep.
Okay, you
always.
remember how John Slade was like a serious badass,
Yep.
but he was just making these weird
Yeah,
comments
absolutely.
left and right.
With his bunny in and all that. Gotcha.
Yeah. Imagine if John Slade was like drunk throughout that whole movie. That'd be Sam Jackson in this movie.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right.
And it was cool to see because this is like Julius Winfield just kind of like got old and stopped giving an F. You know, he met
Lost
him.
to Jerry Curl. Oh, no, you are.
Pretty much, and it starts off. Ryan Reynolds was a top assassin. Something happens where he's not necessarily disgraced, but he's no longer at that top level status. He's been hunting that ever since. Coupled that with several attempts on his life, a bad relationship, kind of being not blacklisted, but people know, oh, he's that guy. He did this. This man. Oh, okay, no, he's dope. But then again, didn't you do this, right? It's kind of like if you grow up and you have a successful career and you become like rich and famous and popular and all. Everyone across the world loves you, but you go home to see your folks for Thanksgiving and you're still oh yeah, you so and so, you peed yourself that one time back when you were 6. Yeah. So he can't quite escape that one black spot on his career, and he's really trying to get over that to get back in that top level. Meanwhile, Sam Jackson is a dude who was that top assassin, kind of still is that top assassin, but he just kind of stopped caring. He got bored with all of it. He met a woman. He settled down, He settled down as much as a man in his position could settle down, and then eventually just, stopped caring once, some stuff hit the fan, and he ended up getting locked up. Now, while he was locked up, his wife also ended up taking a fall, and she becomes the primary motivation for why he gets involved in the stuff in the first place, where he needs to testify in a major court, in a worldwide court trial. I'm not even sure something like this exists. A world court, like it's like
international court, kind of.
Okay, but does like the UN have just like its own judicial system that bypasses Supreme Courts and all of their national? Because that's what this is.
I mean, it's something that's been called for a number of years. So they've been trying to have. They do have a world court, if you will. But it's one of those sort of things where, if you got the juice, you got the power, and you hold the keys, if you will, you ain't got to report to nothing. So like for instance, I don't want to get too political. This ain't a political show, but for instance, there are multiple times where the world stage, if you will, have called the U.S. to go to this quote unquote world court for what many have deemed as international crimes. In the United States,
the whole U.S. are just
specific individuals,
okay.
especially those who are in the military, who may have in the military or in the U.S. government who've done some shady business. And the U.S. is kind of like, well, screw you, we're not going to that, because it's kind of one of those sort of things that you should want to do, but it's not mandated for you to do so because you're still your own sovereign nation. So there is a such thing as an international court. It's just that but so many people who get prosecuted by it, if you will.
Okay, so is that like Saddam went, right? Is that where he was trying?
In some ways, yes.
Okay.
In some ways, I can't go deep into that, but in some ways, yeah.
No, it's all good, man. We know you got secrets. all right.
Put me
So
on blast, brother.
Nah. It's all good. Wait,
I'll be missing forever. You do that. I've only been gone for like a couple of months. I'll be missing forever.
Yeah, but no one knows it's been in that bunker. Just learning stuff. All right, but okay, so it's this type of world court that he needs to testify in, and that's when Gary Oldman steps in. Gary Oldman doing this deep Russian accent, and just playing the most evil SOB since maybe his role in
Book of Eli?
The Professional.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, Book of Eli was nothing compared to this guy. Yeah.
He's beating up a blind lady in Book of Eli. That's pretty messed up.
You see what he does in this movie. Yeah, blind lady got off easy. But hey, again, right there, another top level actor, another A-lister, and this movie just still under the radar, man. Not under the radar, but still just was not as touted as you'd expect a movie like this to be.
Absolutely.
Crushed the competition. Annabelle could not hold a candle. They kicked that puppet. They punted that puppet. Flying distances. I'll call it the cast real quick because I mentioned Ryan Reynolds, I mentioned Sam Jackson, I mentioned Salma Hayek. My 15-year-old self, a minute to reflect there. Elodie Young. Elodie Young is she plays Ryan Reynolds' romantic interest, and it was an interesting performance by her because originally this wasn't supposed to be Ryan Reynolds' show in the plot of the movie. So to see her step up and be the agent that supposedly takes that thunder and yet somehow still has to relinquish. She played that back and forth well. I didn't completely buy her as a woman with feelings for this dude, as you're supposed to get from a romantic interest of this type. So, I mean, I can't call out that much, but I will say for a first showing with this type of star power, she held her own. So I can definitely respect that. I will go on to say just one more dude. I'm trying to pronounce this right because I've never been able to do it before. Joaquim de Almeida. You may remember him, probably not because it's been a while, but as Bucho from El Mariachi.
Okay, I think I'm following you.
Yeah.
All right.
The El Mariachi series, or maybe Desperado would be a better.
Okay.
Yep.
He
was the big bad. I've never seen this dude play anything but like a top level villain.
Oh man, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's got one of those faces, man. But I'm just saying. But he played his part well, where it's like he's supposed to be on a side, but you're like, okay, let's see how you pull it off. And he kind of surprises you because for a while, okay, you're kind of into it. Dude, the comedy is the thing that sold me on this movie.
All right.
First of all, I mean, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I like this movie. I'm recommending cats check this movie out. And here's the reason why. Critics are hating this movie, yet still it dominated. Audience are loving it because I think folks are expecting too much. You think a movie with like bodyguards and there's spies and this international quote unquote intrigue, and folks have this idea of it's gonna be James Bond with
Ryan Reynolds.
Exactly. Sam Jackson thrown in the sucker, so you get a few MFs here and there. It's like no. We know what this was, man. Okay, this was
like, why you set your expectations so high? You knew what this was gonna be.
For real. It's wall to wall jokes and dumbness. It's every 80s, 90s movie like buddy cop trope ever, even though they're not both cops. And I will say it did teeter on the point where one thing could have taken me out of it. It came down to literally one word that kept it from going over that edge of just plain corny. To no, this is just corny enough. To that's just stupid. Corny and stupid, corny and fun, stupid and ridiculous. Right. And it literally came down to one word. All I'll say is the difference between bodyguard and friend. And at one point, if you see the movie, you'll understand. If not, just know that it got that close. It went right up to the edge and did not go off.
All right.
So I still had fun with this. I'm not sure I'd watch it again, but Sam Jackson in a slightly different type of role, where he's not usually the one you laugh at. You're like, yo, he's so crazy. That's not really Sam Jackson.
My man Tarzan.
Besides that one, yeah. But the movie's called The Hitman Bodyguard, starring Ryan Reynolds, starring Sam Jackson, Salma Hayek. I highly recommend it. I mean, there's not much bad I could say about this because it's a movie that knows what it is. It's a movie that knows it's not supposed to be as serious as people are taking it. And I think once you actually realize that, it's a really fun time.
That's what's up here.
Yeah. All right, so now it's enough babbling from me. I'm going to kick it over to the homeboy over there, fiddling with knobs and buttons and dials, looking ever so focused. Just Johnny.
Yeah.
Who's got the lowdown on?
Immortal Planet.
I was going to say Immortan Joe. Where's he been hiding? But he did.
Yeah, he's dead. He's gone. Speaking of dying, there's a lot of dying in this game.
Oh.
I saw screenshots, man. I didn't get a chance to play it myself, but this looked like... Were you blowing up people?
You weren't blowing... So there's no people. At least I don't think there is. Everything is robots that you're attacking. Sort of like sentient robots. Okay. It's like knights, but they are robots. So it's like robot knights, but not Transformers.
Okay. So not Transformers, robot knights.
Yeah.
Of like some kind of order.
Yeah. They're on this planet. They're these.
When you say robot, yeah, clarify. You can say
things.
Robot knights. You could mean like Baywatch knights. These robot knights. All right.
It's all right. So you take Dark Souls, and you add sci-fi robots, and that's what this game is. And it's
sorry, I'm going to correct you. By the way, it's not robots. That's not PC. It's Android Americans.
And Android Americans.
All right.
There are many Android Americans, and their lives matter because they keep dying. Sure. You keep dying because you're killing them. It's just a mess.
Crazy. When will we learn?
Yeah. Immortal Planet. So it's a Dark Souls-like game. It takes place in an isometric view, and that's really what separates it from a lot of other Me Too Dark Souls games. And I bring up Dark Souls a lot, but this game is really, really like Dark Souls. It is right down to the combat system where there is a stamina gauge that you have to manage, just like in other Souls-like games. You only can attack so many times. You can only block so many hits before your stamina gauge depletes. And once it depletes, you can't do anything. You're very vulnerable.
Wait, so does that mean your stamina does not be enough for Pamela Anderson Lee?
That's right. That's right. You will not be able to keep up. You need to pop more pills, more of that Viagra, and then you're back in the race. So, and I guess the unique thing about this one versus the other ones is that you can also see your enemy's stamina gauge. So as you are combating with other enemies one-on-one, mostly one-on-one, but there's a lot of you against 3, you against 4, sometimes even more than that. It gets really hectic, but you're really seeing their stamina gauge, their health bar, and you see your own, and you're sort of figuring out through their tells, through their animation, sort of they'll play out like a very quick animation, giving you an indication of what their next attack might be, and you have to sort of figure out what the proper counter to that is, and then go in for a few attacks. It's a very active, real-time action combat system that they have going on there, and they pull it off really, really well. It's like they took the best elements of Dark Souls, because there is a block button, there is a dodge button, and they also took the best elements of Bloodborne, where it had this regain system where you can, if you take damage, you had a certain window of time in order to deal damage back to the enemy in order to regain your health that you just lost.
All right. That also makes sense why it was released in Japan as Blood Souls.
Blood Souls.
Yeah.
This game?
Blood Souls.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Blood Souls.
What? I don't know what Blood Souls
: Darkborn. All right. Sorry.
Yeah. So that's the main crux of the combat system. You do have a couple of other things on the shoulder buttons that you're using in order to do certain special attacks with items or do special sort of magic use through the other set, which I didn't go that route, so I can't really say much about the magic use because I built my character very certain.
Come on, man. You didn't play your Dark Mage?
Nah, I went like full-blown tank on this thing.
Okay. All right.
And I just wanted to tank everything, take the hits, regain the health, deal out more damage, regain the health, block a few hits, dodge around.
Now, see, when I play these games, I like my chosen class is the decoy.
Decoy.
So, yeah, so I run out, I get the flail on my arms, I get the scream, various levels of scream.
You don't have party members, so you're just gonna keep decoying?
Well, yeah. I mean, come on. It's just a thrill of the chase, my friend.
Yeah, so you don't kill anything, but they all leave the room and chase after you. Then eventually you run back and you go in there and you open up all the chests and see all the loot.
Exactly.
Sounds like one of those. I press the down button and just keep sweeping until I get the win. That's what that looks like. That's what that sounds like to me.
Hey man, you can hate all you want. Guile got that two kick. Bison got the slide. I'm untouchable.
Just keep sliding till you lose.
Yeah, no, the real hardcore one plays Balrog. Or M. Bison, depending on where you're from. And you just like lean down and just keep punching the ground. Like that makes sense.
But somehow you lost.
Very, 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 very poorly designed game.
This went sideways real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah.
The Immortal Planet. Yeah, go ahead, man.
So the crux of this game is you are this. They don't really explain it too well, but you are this awakened walker, and you just wake up and you go out and just start killing a bunch of things. And the things that you eventually find out, the things that you're killing are called immortals. They're aliens that have invaded this planet. I don't know. I'm probably getting some of it wrong because they do not. There is no real story. It's told just like through the Souls-like games through item descriptions, and you have to sort of read into the lore. And in some places here and there, you'll get a little bit of story excerpts, little tiny. They feed you like little nuggets of information relating to the story here and there.
Okay, so it sounds more like an action game.
It is very much an action game. This is, if you were to take like a traditional beat 'em up game, put it in a very heavy Diablo-style camera angle, a very isometric camera angle, and then give it the Souls-like combat system, that's essentially where you're going, what you're working with. There isn't really anything else to do in this game other than combat. There isn't much in the way of exploration. The exploration that you're doing is just getting to the next room to fight more enemies. And there are some places here and there to pick up items that'll help you heal yourself in the midway through.
So the target audience is people with like heavy teenage angst going on.
Heavy
Like,
teenage
man, I just need to
angst.
break something. I just need to destroy something beautiful.
It's just, yeah, if you want to whack things and just keep on whacking things and then
let's
die a whole
not
lot.
talk about whacking when
Yeah.
I just referenced like
Teenage angst and whacking.
Yeah, that's
Hey.
okay.
It seemed like a good fit.
It's that kind of show, people.
It worked.
That's where we are now. Herb,
Yeah.
I blame you.
So it's pretty much a game that's centered on combat, and that's just about it for all it has going for it. But thankfully, it does the combat part of it really, really well. It is a very tightly intricate and elaborate and very nuanced combat system, and it works really well. Even though the camera angle, it's not the best of camera angles, but this is a 2D game, so it's working probably as best as it could given its angle and given what they were trying to mimic, which was a 3D, the big giant Souls-like games, which are very elaborate 3D games with lock-on systems and whatnot. And this game pretty much pulls that off pretty well. There is even right down to the difficulty of it, right? So you're going through, you're dying a lot, you're learning the enemy patterns and how they attack and the best way to defeat them without taking any hits or minimal amount of hits. And every time you die, it has that same mechanic in the Souls games where you drop your essence, if you will, your light beacon, which is all of your experience. So whenever you die, you drop all of your experience, and then you have one shot to go back and get it. And if you don't get it,
you probably need a nap so you can, replenish those juices.
You lose all of your experience.
All right.
So it has that going for it. And every time you go
lose your wad and then you need a nap.
Yes.
So you can like.
I thought we were leaving the teenage.
I know. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I've
going.
got problems. Don't listen to me. I shouldn't even be on the radio. I don't know why I'm here.
And yeah, so you'll lose your experience, and if you ever cash in your experience, which will stay permanent, the enemies will respawn. So these are all things that people that play these types of games, they're very familiar with, and they've more or less played this in many different variations. There's a lot of games that do it in a side-scroll perspective. Now, this is the first one that has fully released that has done it in an isometric perspective. So that adds its own uniqueness to it. And the combat system, as I said, is really good, is really intricate. The problems with this game is that it doesn't change up the formula too much, other than with the enemy types, and that's pretty much it. Like the environments themselves that you're going through, they're pretty small. They're not super elaborate. They're a little confusing to navigate through just because the variation on the rooms that you're going into, they don't look different. They all have the same tile set going in there. They all have the same sort of colorization of the walls and the flooring and things like that, and sort of the mechanics of how you're going to navigate through, which isn't intricate. You step on a few things, it'll activate a few things, you hit a few buttons on a few terminals.
The back goes,
yeah. Yeah, you step on crack, yep.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like you didn't hate this sucker, even though it has its issues.
I did not hate this. I actually enjoyed the combat, but there are a lot of issues with it. Most of it is with the game not being taken as far as it could have, and that this is certainly a great starting point for them to take what they have in there for these levels and really elaborate on it and make a more interesting world. It's really the world and the environment that lets this game down so much, but the combat is solid. And that's really the main problem with this game. There's boss battles. All the boss battles are pretty elaborate, pretty interesting. They have different types of move sets they have to really analyze, and you're going to die a whole lot in each of them. But once you fully understand, then it requires you to execute on that, and more or less you're going to execute on it, and you're going to do really well. And it rewards you for playing with what's there. It rewards you for developing the skill set, and then once you have that skill set, then you start blowing through the enemies. So it has that same feedback loop of that the Souls-like games. It's in there, so that magic is in there. It's just it's missing everything else, which is the discovery, the wonder, the lore, all of those, the vistas, all of those things are completely void in this game.
I would just be happy at the very least if it's missing all those. I could walk around and statistically blow up and destroy everybody and everything. Can I do that?
No, because
Why?
it's because of the style of the game. You just can't, even though you got the mechanics down pat. You can't just walk into a room with like 5 or 6 enemies and expect to just blow them all away. If you do something like that, you aggro the whole room, then yeah, you're gonna get your butt handed to you.
Hey man, when I walk into like 5 or 6 enemies, you don't know how many of them I'm gonna blow. So. Okay, all right, back to serious business. All right, so at the end of the day, would you recommend this sucker, this bad boy, this biznatch?
That's a tough question. I would recommend it to Souls fans if they want to check out something, if they want to scratch that itch. I definitely recommend it to them. For anyone else, it's worth checking out unless you do not want a difficult or hard game. If you're the kind of person that can't deal with...
If you want a challenging game, you may want to play this. Or if you want a challenging game, you may not want to play this. But if you're the type of person that likes this kind of game, you may want to check this out. But then again, if you really like this kind of game, you may not want to check... You're killing me here. What's going on?
I'm just saying, and maybe too... It's definitely too hard for a lot of people to swallow and to deal with, right? A lot of people just want to have a game that you are this badass and you're just slaying things left and right. This is not that game. You have to be patient with it.
It's not the Pat Simulator.
It's not the Pat Simulator.
All right.
No.
Okay. So, thumbs up, thumbs down?
Thumbs to the side?
No, not to the side. Come on, man.
Give it the side
I will give it a thumbs up if they were to fix or improve the sort of world design, the world lore, and those negatives that I sort of covered. Otherwise, I have to say medium.
Hey, Johnny, I'm not flat out.
It's definitely not a thumbs down though.
Okay,
I'm asking flat out.
Yep.
I am 15-year-old me going to Blockbuster with my $5 to pay $4.95 to rent this game for the weekend. It is the weekend, and I know on Monday morning I got a test that I really don't even care about, but I'm willing to blow my money on and spend the whole night playing this game, this whole weekend. And I'm stuck with this game.
You're stuck with
Should I spend my $5 on this game? I'll be stuck with from Friday to Sunday night, knowing damn well I'm probably going to flip my test the next morning. Is this the game I can say, you know what? It was worth that F.
For $5, yeah, you'll definitely be entertained. I mean, you're definitely going to be entertained unless you're the person that gets frustrated. But yeah.
Okay, think about the generation we came up with. Also, want to thank you, brother, for showing our audience exactly how old we all really are.
It's all good, man. I gotta let them know.
I watched the video with cats, with young folks, millennials checking out the Backstreet Boys, like, oh my God, my mom listens to this, and it was her, and it hurt. Okay, so Johnny gives it a tentative thumbs up.
Yes, tentative. There we go. I like that. Tentative thumbs up.
All right, thank you very much. That lukewarm reception review. All right, now I'm going to kick it over to the man here, JM the Thriller Priest.
It's like warm beer.
It's not quite a Pabst. It's not quite a Pabst Blue Ribbon, but it's
a Rolling Rock Light. it's shitty beer.
It's the champagne of beers, if you will.
Champagne.
All right, but you've got the lowdown on not 1, not 2, but 3 wrestling events.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about Miller High Life, champagne of beers, $5 for a 6-pack. You know what I mean?
All right,
you get your money's worth.
The champagne of toilet wines. All
right, so I'm gonna give you the down and dirty. First off, this is pretty much jam-packed week for pro wrestling. It's pretty interesting how it panned out. So, Ring of Honor's War of the Worlds UK Liverpool edition. So Ring of Honor's been doing a great connection with New Japan, and so this is one of their latest installments. Honestly, I found this by accident. I mean, this joint was $20 on the Fight app. I said, let me get this. Let's roll with it. So I'm gonna highlight a couple of matches. One, Hangman Page went up against Kenny King. King of the Night, Kenny King. First off, for some of you may not even know who Kenny King is, former 2-time X Division champion in TNA. But some of the newer viewers, some of the newer listeners,
I thought that was Evelyn Champagne King, no?
Nah, no relation.
Okay, all right.
Not that I know of. Kenny King was on The Bachelorette.
That's my great grandmama's next door neighbor.
Shame. I don't even know if she sings that one.
Yeah, that was
her. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I mean, she sung whatever hot song back then. It was her. But anyway, Kenny King, who finished 9th in The Bachelorette. A lot of folks got a lot of love for him. It was a good bump for him. Honestly, the shorty, she ain't all that attractive. She should have picked Kenny King, but it's what it is. So Kenny King coming back, scrapping, did a great job against Hangman Page, won his match, which is really good to see Kenny King back in the ring, just doing his thing. So I'm very happy when it comes to that. All right, the Young Bucks. Excuse me, your boy's a little under the weather, so I'm gonna try not to do that as much as sniff into the mic.
I'm gonna get you a handkerchief. Yo,
I need a little something.
I'm gonna tell you something about.
Yeah, have me do the old man cough.
Hit him with the
You can just use me doing this as your sound effect for the beginning of the show, P.
No, that's all okay. No, I noticed now we have a lot of fun. Herb's over there like, man, I gotta clean off these mics.
He really is like this. I'm like, come on, Herb, the show before us. Come on, bro. I'm like dancing in beer. All right.
I'm wondering, have those cats done a sober show all season?
Never. Come on, Herb. You know that. Them jokers are beat red when they walk out of here. Don't get me wrong. I love those guys on the show. They're real cool. But every time they walk out, their face is beat red. They keep calling us like the Geek Squad. Every time we see them, what's up, Geek Squad? I'm like, you know what, buddy? I'm going to give you a pass. Because I know you got a couple of beers in you. All the time, Geek Squad! And P is just so gracious with them. They always dap you. What's up, Geek Squad?
Least I can do, man. I don't know what they packing. I don't mess with no crazy dudes from Southie coming in here like, yo, man, you didn't give me that fist bump, bro.
There was a couple of knives up there
can't
before.
Help but notice, like, it's like, why is the boy locking the door behind him? Like, what's going on there?
You stepping over PBR cans.
It's like you gonna drink this natty ice, so we have a problem. This is not a question.
We got nothing but love for our folks who do the shows here, man.
Yeah, they
for
are.
real, though, they all right.
Yeah. When he come back in the studio, like, we heard what you said.
We heard what you said.
We was listening.
I'm the one who's always early, so I'm looking at me first. That'd be the day I come in late. I'll be coming at 9:15 that day.
Gotta shake me out of rolled up PBR cans. Gotta fold in that crunch.
Oh, man.
You guys, blue ribbon, motherfucker. Blue ribbon.
Speaking of crazy white guys, the Young Bucks went up against the Addiction. It was a great move for them.
All right, sorry. I'll
stop.
Go
man.
ahead.
It was a great match between the Bucks and the Addiction. Just awesome. It was great to see Christopher Daniels, even though he dropped his world title, for him to get right back into the title hunt against the Bucks. And the Young Bucks just do what the Young Bucks do. I mean, they're arguably the greatest tag team running around here in all of pro wrestling. It's quite arguable, quite debatable. Just to the point where I can honestly say they probably are. They're amazing match. They hit the Meltzer driver and the Indie Taker driver. Awesome. Finally, Cody went up against Sonata. Sonata, who finished up really good in the G1 tournament, New Japan's top pay-per-view tournament, finished up really, really well to the point where it earned him a good title shot against Cody. And of course, Cody won. But the good part about Cody winning is that at the end, after Cody won, he straight called out Bryan Danielson, or for those of you WWE fans, Daniel Bryan, called him out. Mind you, Daniel Bryan called him out after Cody won the belt. Because Daniel Bryan is the longest reigning Ring of Honor champion, 15-month reign. So after Cody won the Ring of Honor title, Daniel Bryan goes, congratulations, you better not pass the, I think it's like 400-something day mark. You better not pass the 495, whatever his day mark, because if you come close to that, I'm coming after you. So after he called out Cody,
man, you better not cede.
Pretty much.
Sure.
It's like you succeed by winning this, but if you try to break my record, we're gonna have a problem. Which is awesome. So after that, Cody's just been trolling him. He's just trolling him doing his wrestling move, calling him out during matches. It's hilarious. So it's really good to see that this camaraderie amongst wrestlers of two different organizations who worked with each other in the past. It just makes wrestling fun for the true fans to see guys in different organizations calling shots with each other. And it's just awesome. So that's what it was.
I always figured that, the cats were friends behind the scenes. I mean, before like WWE started showing us, no, this is what happened behind the scenes. They jumped in the limo and hit him with a chair. It's like, no, but like when they're not on camera, these cats respect each other as like coworkers, and some of them are actually friends.
Absolutely, it just makes it great when you see that in a legitimate sense, especially when they start trolling each other on Facebook and Twitter. It's the funniest thing. It's the pettiest thing, but it's awesome when they do it. Always talking trash to each other. It's great. All right, so that's all I'm giving you about Ring of Honor's War of the Worlds. Oh, but also, at the end of that match, when Cody beat Sonata, he called out Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson. Dalton Castle came up and challenged him to a title match, which is great for Castle, because Castle's on that cusp of becoming a singles champion at some point. So, I mean, I know I believe he had the TV belt that he dropped it. I can't remember, or maybe he just got it. Can't remember, but it's still a good look for him to be in that title hunt, especially to get into a series with Cody. Great look for him. All right, NXT Takeover. Highlights from that. One, Cien Almas looked amazing. This is the one Latino dude they got from CMLL who I've been complaining that they haven't been utilizing well. If you listen to past shows, once again, Geek Down, Geek Down on Instagram, Geek Down on iTunes, whole 9 yards. You'll be able to hear me complain about that, about how I felt Cien Almas was not getting a push. I'm damn happy that Cien Almas walked away with this win against Johnny Wrestling or Johnny Gargano. It was a great win for him. He looked amazing. It was even though it was kind of a shoddy win, but it was still a win nevertheless. And he looked great doing it.
Pull a cheap shot, hit him in the knee with like a kendo stick. What's going on?
No, what ended up happening was a new valet, Zelina Vega. She threw in a shirt. The shirt was the T-shirt from Gargano's old tag team. Because Gargano's on a singles run now, but he still has feelings hurt because him and his tag team partner got into it real bad. His tag team partner injured him. But at some point, they're going to have them mash up and end up fighting each other. So what she did, she threw the T-shirt at him of their old tag team. Kind of like throwing a little salt in the wound. And of course, he kind of freaks out looking at the shirt. And Cien Almas catches him and wins. Awesome win.
You know what that sounds like? You ever seen those clips of like the random I won't say lower tier, but the lesser known wrestling leagues where they have gimmicks that go so far beyond the wildest stuff we think WWE would have. And I mean, I'm talking like the wrestling match where they're doing hypnosis and I point my fingers and I'm controlling him with the mind. This sounds like she threw a T-shirt and like crushed his spirit mid-match.
She did. Crush his spirit at the end of the match. You see him just drop and Almas took advantage. It was great. You're right.
He's like going in for a finishing move.
He was. He sees like,
this T-shirt.
No. Like it really was.
The lights in the stadium go red. and like sad music starts to play. The sprinklers go off, mimicking rain.
That's what I mean. Honestly, that's what, it put me in, fam. It put me in. I was like, damn, son. Oh, that hurts, man. I hurts. Then he got it. That was what it was. So it was a good look. My favorite win of the night. Sanity wins the tag title, man. I've been waiting for this for forever. Sanity, Alexander Wolf, and Eric Young. Eric Young from TNA days. Y'all should know him by now. It was a great win for them. Right. I mean, they need a title run. It was great for them to become tag team champions. And I'm hoping they do the Freebird rule like the New Day has been doing, where you got one guy, you got 3 guys, and any 2 guys will be the ones fighting for it. Because when the match started, it was Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane, the really 2 big guys who were on the apron. And out of nowhere, Alexander Wolf was fighting. Out of nowhere, Eric Young slides into the match. I was fighting. People are like, what the hell's going on? Out of nowhere, he's the guy. It just made it look like it was him and Killian Dane, but it wasn't Killian Dane. Fake out out of nowhere, and then they end up winning the match and getting the belt. So it's just great. And shout out to Nikki Cross, because Nikki Cross took a great bump that night too. And Nikki Cross, man, if they don't give her a belt, I don't know what the hell's going on, because she should be women's champion at some point real soon. Excuse me, all jacked up. Told you to deal with me.
Can I get you a lozenge, brother?
Nah, I think I'm all right for now.
The Geek Down sponsored by Halls.
Yeah, for real. Let's get that sponsorship, man. Get these bills paid. Aleister Blackwater begins Hideo Itami. Good match overall, but the only reason I'm mentioning it because it was the dream match. It was a dream commentary team for anyone who's a pro wrestling fan. Jim Ross came out to commentate this match with Ronaldo. I'm always shocked at that joker's name.
Ronaldo Ray. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Mauro Ronaldo and JR. And these are probably the top greatest commentators in pro wrestling history. Mauro right now.
The combo of Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Oh, yeah. And Gorilla Monsoon. Exactly. Of course. I would say now, currently, Jim Ross, in terms of play-by-play, Jim Ross probably the best play-by-play man I ever grabbed the microphone. And I would say Mauro's right in that same league. To the point where, my wife and I were talking about 2 weeks ago how Mauro did the Bellator match a couple weeks ago. He commentated Bellator. Like, that joker is good. Like, he's known in in Canada as a hockey commentator. The guy just knows his stuff. Side note, mind you, this guy was dropping Cardi B. Like, who references Cardi B? You know what I mean? During a wrestling match. He referenced Biggie Smalls. He referenced Tupac's Hit 'Em Up. Like, you said here, like, hold on, what's this white Canadian guy knowing? But like during the match, he'd be like,
do not refute the hood pass. Okay,
he gets a hood pass. When he sits here and goes, as Ember Moon's just like Cardi B, she's all about she all about that money or something like that. I'm sitting here like, hold on, what? Did he just reference Cardi B?
I wouldn't put it past him. You know how many curveballs I've been thrown the past month? I saw the Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart show. Martha Stewart's down. I didn't know this.
Where you
news to me, so nothing surprises me anymore.
When they made croissants together, right? When Martha Stewart and Snoop made croissants together, I seen that a minute ago. That was awesome, though.
50 cents on the sucker. Herb, have you seen this?
I have not.
50 cents on there making pizza dough, and Snoop's on there talking about, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rub my fingers deep into this dough. I'm gonna make sure it gets nice and slippery.
I don't think I want to watch it anymore.
It's like yo,
Yo, it's awesome. Yo, Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg.
I watched until I needed a cigarette, man. It was a special show. Okay, so what I'm saying is you can never be too surprised by who's down.
True, you're right. You're right. I was just highly impressed. All right, Asuka went up against Ember Moon. Asuka won. It is what it is. I felt as if Ember Moon should have took it, but it's what it is. Drew McIntyre got the championship for Bobby Roode. The part about that made it awesome was not even that Drew McIntyre beat Bobby Roode. It was the fact that my man Adam Cole made his debut. It was to the point where as soon as I turned on the TV, during the pre-show, folks were screaming, Adam Cole, baby! Like, in the background. Because everybody saw him. People been following this dude because he stopped his Ring of Honor contract. It's been a couple of months since he hasn't had a contract in place. We knew he was going to sign to NXT. But it was like, when's this guy coming? And people have been stalking him. So there's folks taking pictures throwing on Instagram. Adam Cole's at the airport. That means he's going to be at NXT TakeOver.
Like
and he
Bigfoot
showed
babies.
up. It really was, man. Adam Cole is that dude. And it's one of those sort of things.
He's a Bigfoot of WWE.
I don't want to say that, but I mean, he's that dude in terms of top prospect. I mean, he's a young dude. He's only like 27 or something like that. Young guy who has a great career in front of him. Adam Cole is top notch. So we've been looking for him forever. So we're very happy for him to jump in there and get a good run. Took out Drew McIntyre with the help of Red Dragon, which is Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. Jumped in. So it's really good to see these 3 Ring of Honor guys, distinctly Ring of Honor guys, be put to a top level like that. Not having their name changed, because the other Ring of Honor guys, who I'll talk about in a minute for SummerSlam, they all got their names changed. But these 3 guys kept their names, and they're doing it. And I think most people there knew who they were. But others, a couple WWE fans that had no idea who Adam Cole was. But the true wrestling fans, once again, wrestling fans, not WWE fans, knew exactly who Adam Cole was. And he got the pop.
Because I remember when Shane McMahon had to change his name from the French Tickler. So, it was like, it was
Shane
a hard day.
Shane O'Mac still doing the dance. All right, let's get to it. SummerSlam 2017. I'm not going to tell you all the winners. Just go watch if you want to watch the winners. I'm going to give you the things that stuck out for me. 1, I'm still heated at the fact that they keep putting title matches at the kickoff show. Like, stop calling it the kickoff show. We went over this before, and I'm going to rant on it again. I'm tired of this, man. If you want the show to start at 5, tell me the show starts at 5. If the show's going to run from 5 to 11, that's how long the show is. Don't tell me this is the kickoff show. From 5 to 7, we're just going to be talking trash. We're going to sneak 2 title matches in there, but the real show starts at 7. So you're trying to tell me that these other freaking matches don't matter, but you have title matches. 2 title matches. You know what? Like NXT. No, hold on. I'm in my rant in a minute.
You want to?
I gotta let it go.
Roll, my brother.
Peep it. New Japan Pro Wrestling tells you our pay-per-views are 5 hours long. So I know when I turn on New Japan, I'm seeing straight wrestling from bell to bell. What WWE does is tune in for a kickoff show where it's a lot of pontificate, a lot of people talking trash, them talking to the WWE universe. I don't want to hear that garbage. And out of nowhere, they slide in 2 championship matches. So when you advertise the real event starting at 7, why am I going to tune in at 6:30? Why am I do that if you told me the event starts at 7? But if I tune in at 7, I already missed two world championship matches, which is what happened. So the Usos end up beating the New Day, which they spent a lot of time building this up. I mean, they had Wale compete, do a rap battle with him. You know what I mean? Wale. You know what I mean? Which was a pretty good one. Yeah. So Wale and the Usos and the New Day did a rap battle. Great rap battle.
The Usos were involved.
Yes, it was the Usos went up against the New Day with Wale being the judge.
Why
it was awesome, dude. It was hilarious.
That's like Kendrick Lamar facing off against what's his name? James Corbin.
It wasn't a face-off. He was the judge of these two wrestlers going at it back and forth. It was really good. I mean, it was hilarious to the point where them jokers were trying to keep a straight face, and they went there, man. It was really good. So check it out. That's the July 4th edition of Monday Night Raw, if you want to, of SmackDown, if you want to catch that. But any event, they poured so much energy and time into this beef that you turn around and put that title match during the pre-show. Like, what are you doing? As well as the Cruiserweight Championship was also decided during that pre-show. Doesn't make sense. I'm a little mad about that. But props to the Usos for getting their belts back, beating the New Day. All right. Kevin Owens went up against AJ Styles. The thing that I loved about this match, I mean, you know the constants. Kevin Owens could fight. Great wrestler. We all know this. Mr. Wrestling. We know this. And AJ Styles, in my opinion, I think he's probably one of the best Japanese-trained wrestlers.
Yeah, my favorite Backstreet Boy.
Absolutely. I would say he's better. I honestly say he's better at the Japanese style than Nakamura. I will go far as say that. And Tommy. Folks get a little heat at me. If you get heated, you know your email. Pat would say at the end where the email way to email me. Tell me your hate mail. But I think AJ Styles is probably one of the best Japanese style wrestlers. Him and Asuka on the whole roster. But in any event, AJ Styles did a damn good match with Kevin Owens. But the thing that sticks out to me is Kevin Owens' trash talk is just at the pinnacle. I think he has the best in-ring trash talk versus anybody today. This Joker screamed, "Who's phenomenal now?" as he's beating up phenomenal AJ Styles. Mind you, Shane McMahon is doing the counting for the match. He's the ref, right? Okay. So he screams to Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon does a 1, 2 count, and then the count, and AJ Styles kicks out. Owens looks as Shane McMahon, screams at him, "You hit my head!" when he was counting. "That was you! That's bad placement on your part." I'm like, what? Who yells that to the ref?
He's calling him out. He's like, you don't understand the techniques and the proper Paul says you have to be over here. I need 17 inches.
It was hilarious. And he screams at Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon gets bumped and he falls, flopping all over the place.
Your shirt is buttoned sloppily.
It was hilarious. Sounding like Jay-Z did. He screams to the boy. So Owens once again, they fight. Owens knocks over Shane, or maybe AJ Styles knocks over Shane. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. But Owens goes for the pin. Shane takes forever to get to do the count. 1, 2. AJ Styles kicks out. Owens then screams at Shane, "You fall off of buildings. You get back up. How you not gonna get up off of that bump? Like, where were you? I beat him." And it's just comedy. Of course, he's screaming at the audience too. "That was 3, and you know that was 3." It was just like top villainy. It's just like,
no,
this is
that's
what I'm
the voice
talking
of the
about.
audience, man. How many times are you sitting there? What's this dude? What's his problem? 1, 2. Oh, I got a hangnail. Hold on, let me finish some dumbness.
It was like awesome. It was just top.
They're so easily distracted.
Talking.
1, 2. Hey, audience, stop yelling. I'm not done counting to 3 yet.
It was great. I mean, Styles retained the belt. Good for him. But it was great. Overall, it was great. Roman Reigns in the World Championship match. Honestly, this is probably one of the few times you hear me say this. Roman Reigns got screwed. Roman Reigns should have been champion. Roman Reigns should have won that belt. The fact that we all know that Lesnar's in a beef right now with John Jones. We know that Floyd Mayweather is going to fight Conor McGregor on Sunday, and that's going to be a big draw. We know that folks are watching how well that draws to see whether or not Lesnar and John Jones will have that draw. The fact that the stipulation of this match is that if Lesnar loses, he'll leave WWE, which would be a great exit for him to go right back into MMA. We know that he's went to the athletic commission, or for him to get tested, or for him to fight in MMA again. It was assumed that he would drop the title. The fact that he didn't drop the title, especially to Reigns, because the way the match was going, looked like Reigns had it, is pretty messed up. Because at this point, I'm like, okay, it's a great swerve, but we all know what's going to happen. He's going to drop the belt to somebody who he probably should be dropping it to, and it just is what it is. So I feel that Roman Reigns got screwed on that one. He should have been champion. And finally, the highlight for me for the entire pay-per-view is the fact that Natalya Neidhart won her title. First title in 6 years. The reason why that's important is 1, she's 35. 2, she has a muscular build. 3, she doesn't wear skimpy outfits. 4, she's a third-generation wrestler. Trained by Bret Hart, Owen Hart, her daddy, Jimmy Anvil Neidhart. First third-generation female wrestler. The only female to graduate from the Hart Family Dungeon. I say that to say this. The problem I feel sometimes with women's pro wrestling is the fact that we objectify them. We have them get breast implants. They get long, crappy weave in their hair. They put way too much makeup on. They put fake eyelashes on. We got a woman who and they're always usually in their early or mid-20s. For a woman to be my age, to be trained in this way, who doesn't show off her body, who fought and she scratched and clawed her way, for her to be rewarded for the title is something that's amazing. So actually, kudos to WWE for actually making that happen, because that woman deserved it. And I say she's pound for pound probably the best wrestler on their roster. So for me, the highlight of the entire SummerSlam is Natty Neidhart getting that championship, and that's all I got.
Nice. All right, thank you very much, brother.
No doubt.
Now, like the man said, if you have that hate mail you want to spew at him,
go ahead, bring it.
Hit us up at geekdownradio@gmail.com. Let them know what you really think.
You can say subject line Thriller Priest. Bring it.
All right, man. Don't call out the haters, man. Have you learned nothing? This is the internet. All right, never read the comments. I promise you. All right, we're running really low on time, so I got to be a little quick with Batman and Harley Quinn. But, this needs to be said because there's a lot of controversy going back and forth about this movie specifically. It's Batman and Harley Quinn. Mm-hmm. It went kind of under the radar. The last one I remember was Assault on Arkham.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, which should have been the damn Suicide Squad movie. Those job suckers messed up that live action, But DC animated was getting. I know. I'm sorry. That which shall not be named. But no, this is Batman and Harley Quinn. This has Batman and Nightwing teaming up with the. Now, this is the first time I've heard her referred to as anti-villain. Like anti-hero, anti-villain, because she's a villain who often acts in the more protagonist capacity.
Yeah.
Wow, that term is rarely used.
I've never news to me, but no, it fits here, because I mean, in past, I mean, I actually subscribed to a comic for a few years before it got horribly horrible. And ironically enough, it was taken over by Rob Roddy, who's a dude whose work that I actually liked, because on his own book it was dope. Groundbreaking comics, and then they gave him a lecture, and he completely screwed that up, and then went to DC to taint some of my other favorite titles. So it's kind of a daggone shame, but the background creator heavily depends on the type of fare you get, and this is no exception, because this had a very specific Harley Quinn, had a very specific Batman, had a very specific Robin, and the relationship between them and the relationship between the heroes and the villains was very reminiscent of the old Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, okay.
Correction, not just the animated series, the Superman, the Batman Superman adventure series, which followed up the N92 series. But I also emphasize that like hardcore because Herb. Now I want to get your input, my man, because you were a fan of Batman of comics back then.
Course.
And you're well aware of the impact that Batman the Animated Series, the 90s show, had on comics, especially at that time.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, Harley Quinn herself is like is a character that started off in the animated series and moved on to
That's correct.
Yeah. So that series, I mean that cartoon is awesome.
Well, how would you respond if I told you that 20 plus years later, actually 25 years later, they would make a movie that had so much fan service, not overhyped, not in your face, but just like background stuff. But it felt like it was specifically meant for you.
Oh man, I would be cautious to hear something like that.
Okay, all right. No, you're right. You're right.
I'm tripping out. You said 25 years later.
25.
Like,
hey, we old, brother, man. You got a deal. Let that sink in. I'm gonna sing that Backstreet Boys video. You're gonna cry. All right, but that's the thing I want to get at. Where the controversy in this behind this movie has been Harley Quinn's presentation. Because Harley Quinn has gone from the ditzy sidekick to kind of a figure of female empowerment when she left the abusive relationship, to going back and forth in later movies and later comics between psychopath, between victim, Stockholm syndrome sufferer.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That character has evolved a lot.
Yeah, and it's always been conflicted as to what she truly is, because like I said, different creators have different interpretations. From this, I watched this movie and I saw the more innocent early stages, kind of ditzy Harley Quinn, but someone who's trying to mature. Someone who's on that path there, and that's my interpretation. But I'm also a cis hetero male, and I'm reading some of the reviews written by females, written by gay reviewers, and everyone has a different interpretation, which is what makes this one so unique. This one was really different in the respect that I saw this and got nothing but nostalgia. Well, almost nothing but nostalgia.
Nice.
Whereas other people saw this and saw interpretations of Poison Ivy and Harley that seemed to advance their relationship, and some saw it seem to retard their relationship. So this is wild. I have no idea where the audience will come from. From my point of view, as an old school fan of the animated series, I would say this is worth checking out, but don't expect it to be the caliber of the old 92 series. At best, it would be the caliber of the later 94 to 98 series.
Okay.
Yeah.
The golden years right there.
No, the golden years were 92 to 94.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Absolutely.
So just after.
Yeah, afterwards. Now, I think of to put it in perspective, think of the more streamlined animation when it went to WB from Fox.
Yeah.
And you stopped seeing Batman with the yellow emblem on his chest. It was all just the big black bat. He had the combat belt. They had the more streamlined single-seater Batmobile instead of the longer one that was more representative of the movie. Yeah. They stopped drawing the Penguin as the fat guy with the Greek style or Roman nose.
Yep.
And they started drawing him as just the kind of tubby guy with the top hat and the pointy
super
Doonesbury,
short.
yeah, Doonesbury style.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean these may be a lot of details I'm throwing at you, but that's the thing.
It's a big difference.
Yes.
Mhm.
And Herb, dude, the fan service was not in your face like most things try to be. They're not throwing references at you. They had Easter eggs left and right though
Nice.
that were just background, that were there, that were very subtle. And if you were a fan with a good memory, you would lose your freaking mind.
Oh, really? That sounds fun.
Absolutely. There was one scene in there where I had to pause, reflect on everything I'm seeing like right now,
That's awesome.
and just be like, I love you people so hard.
Ah, nice.
And
Is there singing?
there's singing.
Sweet.
Oh.
Parts of it are musical.
Love it.
Yes.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
this-
is awesome, man.
Well, this one it tried to cross the line. Oh, first of all, let me read the plot synopsis while I'm gushing all over the sucker here. But it's really simple. Batman and Nightwing join forces with Harley Quinn to stop a global threat brought about by Poison Ivy and the Plant Master. The Plant Master being
Who's the plant man? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Wouldn't that be
The-
Poison Ivy?
no,
Yeah.
the Plant Master is the Floronic Man. It's Jason Woodroot.
Sorry.
He's one of the I didn't call him Plant Master. That's their word. That's their
No,
wording.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because my son's been on this Lego Batman kick, right?
Yeah.
And if y'all see Lego Batman, he used to make me watch it over and over and over again, so the point I can almost do the entire dialogue.
Mm.
But there's a point in the very beginning where Joker is reeling off all the names of these guys like Condiment King and Calendar Man and Polka Dot Man and blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
And in the movie, the guy goes, "You're making some of those up." He goes, "No, I'm not. It's worth a Google." And kid you not, going through the behind the scenes, they're like, "Yeah, we legit went on Wikipedia, went to the Batman page, went all the way to the bottom to his villains, and worked their way up from the bottom to the top." So that's why there's all these unknown villains. So I'm assuming somebody did that and pulled up this. What's his name?
The Floronic Man. They called him Plant Master.
Plant Master. He's
Yeah.
probably on that Wikipedia page. I'm pretty sure.
Well, he was a more serious guy in this, but yeah, no, you're right. The Rogues Gallery is goofy. Well, my personal favorite isn't even a DC villain. It's the Marvel one, Stilt Man.
I remember still, man.
Yeah, what's your power? Well, I wear these stilts, you see.
He just marching all over the place.
Yeah. Spider-Man tried to make a stupider one. He had the Slider.
Oh, Slider ruled.
Slider
man.
was ridiculous,
kidding me?
man. This dude's
No
power
friction.
was
Was it a hammer?
Exactly. That's his new
No
power.
friction,
He's
dude.
not affected by friction, so he slides everywhere. He robs banks by sliding into the vault, grabbing what he wants, and sliding back out.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
I thought it was
True
a
villainy.
hamburger.
yeah.
True villainy, man.
Although DC is the one that has like 17 different characters with the exact same power, all control cold.
Yup.
Got Captain
Yup.
Cold, Mr. Freeze.
Yup.
What's her name? Killer Frost.
Killer Frost. I've
Killer
heard that
Frost.
forever.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
Mm,
I like that. Killer Frost.
Killer Frost. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they got like 9 of them.
They do.
Yeah.
DC's vault of villains is horrendous.
Yeah,
it really is.
the heroes ain't a Lightning Lad. Yeah, come on now. It was Lad or Lass back then.
It's like my wife was like,
Yeah.
"So is that person who's Marvel?" Like everybody who's cool is Marvel.
Oh,
like
you-
let's call it what it is.
Really, my brother?
Let's call it what it is.
Man. We gonna have a run.
She's like,
down.
besides Batman, it's Superman and the Justice League.
Mhm.
Who else do they have? I'm like, Deadpool. I'm like, no. X-Men, no.
Oh, man, I'm
Hulk, no. Iron Man, no. Like it's like all those are Marvel. I'm sorry. DC is definitely. Don't get me wrong. I love DC.
Mhm.
They're definitely a little weak in the villain area, and like you said, they're not all that great in the hero realm
So
either.
I'm gonna give you an in-depth retrospective on Ambush Bug and Hydra Bob. Okay, it's gonna get silly. All right, Awesome Andy. Yeah. All right, man. So we'll see that up to that challenge. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Batman and Harley, that piece of shit. No. I enjoyed this.
Okay.
I enjoyed most of it, and they brought back a lot of the original voice cast, including
Nice.
Kevin Conroy. And the thing,
Oh.
it's both a blessing and a curse
Okay.
because these are the voices we knew
Yes.
and we identified as these characters. It wasn't Arlene Sorkin as Harley Quinn, so that's one you definitely noticed. But the rest of them remain the same, including Kevin Michael Richardson.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, finally not playing a stereotypical brother.
For real.
He was the Floronic Man. But you know what? He's an identifiable voice, but they're not having the black guy play stereotypically black, which is good. You know, I really like that. The problem I mentioned, it's also a curse because it's been a long time since that show, and you can hear the age in Batman's
I'm
voice.
gonna say,
You know, and it's still Batman, but it's like he's not playing the Dark Knight Batman, but he sounds like the Dark Knight Batman. You know, he sounds a little more aged, a little more grizzled. Still doing a good job, but it did not go unnoticed.
He's smoking a couple packs from that time in '92 to now.
You can afford it, man. Ain't no one sweating those funds. Got solid gold pipes. Rob Paulson doing like almost like every other background voice, and it's noticeable as Rob Paulson, but that's okay. He's one of the few guys who can get away with it. Rob Paulson, Billy West.
Oh, okay.
You know, those are the people who, well, I know that voice, but you know what? I'm all right with this. And that was just an extra bit of nostalgia where it's like, all this sounded like the old series that we knew growing up. And it was just a good time that really reflected with anyone who's a fan of the old series. It was a nice aperitif to take you out, you know? The problem with it is
this a controversy?
This is the controversy.
All right.
The representation of Harley Quinn made her, even it's Batman and Harley, but she was not necessarily a background figure, but she was there as a damn it, I'm struggling for the term right now. She was just there to advance the plot. You know, it's like we need Harley. Is she pivotal? Nah, she's just here to help us get to this point.
A plot device.
You know? Exactly.
Ultimately, just use their name.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they used her name, and then they included every Harley trope that she's gotten over the past few years. She's over sexualized.
Yep.
She can't be trusted by anyone, and she's really goofy at the awkward points.
Yeah.
You know, it did interesting things like there's foul language. You know, throughout all this, there's definitely some stuff you can't show your kids.
Yep, I heard about that.
And there's fart jokes.
Nice. With
Batman. Since when does Batman involve fart jokes? You know, that was actually funny. That was actually funny. It's like it happens, and you're like, oh, are you really doing this? And then it goes on. You're like, you know, I'll let you get that.
Oh, that's the other Batman villain, Flatulence Man.
No, stop it. You stop that right now.
You know he exists somewhere.
You know he does somewhere.
No, and he should have said the Gas Man. That's what it's.
That's probably real.
Yeah. Vapor Lass.
Oh, my God.
All right, so no, my real problem with this, because I did enjoy it not just as a like I said, as a cis hetero male comic fan, someone who's especially enamored with Batman. I'm a little upset I'm not wearing the ring tonight that I normally do, but I really had a good time with most of this, and a lot of it was reminiscent of the old series, and a lot of it was reminiscent of the 1960s Batman series. Like, you know, this one was definitely one for the fans. The problem is the ending is garbage. Like, seriously, they set up this dope story and like, oh, it's gonna get ill, and then it does. And, oh, it's gonna get iller, then it does. And then, oh, this is what they're planning for the ending. That's gonna be amazing. And then they do it, and it's a tease because this happened. And you're like, oh, yes. Wait. What? Credits. Boosh. You know, it's just yeah, dude. It's just like it had such good momentum, and then it goes out on such a BS note. If this was Blockbuster, I'd have sent them back. I'd have cracked the DVD in half and just paid.
You would have rewinded about the tape. Like, I rewinded nothing.
Man, I'd have returned it on principle.
Be kind, please rewind.
No rewind.
No rewind.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm hot. Charge me $3 because it sucked.
Yeah, dude, I'm so disappointed in this because I mean, other people will have beef for different reasons. I myself have beef with the ending of the story because it would have been a really nice note for that series to go out on. You know, a lot of this was really touching for fans of the original of that old series, and then it really just petered out in I will say the worst way possible because it was intentional. It wasn't just, well, we faulted in the story. You can tell they did it. They went out the way they did to be funny in a story where it's like, you know what? You were straddling the line pretty well for most of it, and then you went too far to the left, you know, and then, you know, you fell off. So, you know, that's the last straw. I will still recommend this, but that's the main caveat. Like, don't expect it to have that happy ending for you as a fan. But for most of it, it was a good time. And like I mentioned, if you're a fan of that old show, this definitely will have a lot of stuff for you. It was made by Bruce Timm as one of the executive producers. Excuse me. And It was made. Most of it was made with care. The thing is, they tried to get in one gag too many, and that was the final straw. It's called Batman and Harley Quinn. It's available now on DVD. It had a limited theater release, but I think it might be popular enough that they might bring it back. No guarantees, but you're better off checking for it online if you're really inclined. But like I said, if you're really inclined.
I'll check it out.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this has been the Geek Down here on WEMFradio.com. I've been Pat P. I'm Sodomy, JM the Thriller Priest.
Peace. Glad to be here, P, man. Glad to be back, man.
Thank you, brother. Welcome
No
back.
doubt.
And, of course, Just Johnny.
Yo.
The man who's been keeping us sounding amazing is DJ Herbie Herb. And also want to thank you wonderful people for catching us here on WMF. You can also catch us on geek-down.com and also on SoundCloud, on YouTube, on iTunes. Hit us up on Facebook. Let us know what's good. Check us out on Twitter. Follow us. Damn, we're all over the sucker.
Follow me!
Follow this guy. And also, if you heard anything on this show you want to chime in on, hit us up at geekdownradio@gmail.com. Let him know how right or how wrong he is. And also, we'll catch you all next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Until then, be excellent to each other. Peace.
Peace.